Hey YouTube peoples. So there's a lot of glare, I apologize. Obviously I'm back home. My experience with Prime ended abruptly. What happened was that I did have to wait at home for 2 weeks while I was waiting on a trainer, and a lady called me. She was going to take me out, but I think she was a lease operator. She was either owner operator or lease operator. I can't remember which. I was leery of getting into that in the first place because you've got to make X amount of dollars to make those truck payments. And so I'm afraid that your main concern is about making money. It's not about training me. If your company, like my experience with PSD, and he was a company driver, was fine. It was perfectly fine. We got back, he helped me, he stayed there, helped me, learn all my backing maneuvers and made sure I knew my pre-trip and tested out, made sure I got my CDL. That was great. So then I requested to go home because it was Christmas. So I went home, sat home for 2 weeks. One lady did call me, but it turned out that she told me, she's like, okay, I only have time to teach you your backing because I can do control backing maneuvers enough to pass the test, but I needed practical real-world experience in backing up to docks. And she said, well, I don't really have time to teach you how to back up at docks because at the end of the day, I hate when people say at the end of the day. Just leave at the end of the day completely out of it. Just say what you're going to say, okay? At the end of the day, this is my business. And she was like, I can't leave the doors open for you to try backing up. And I was like, what? I mean, I can, get the ass end of the trailer up in there and then stop and then open the doors. What? I mean, that don't even make sense to me. And then she said, well, we can practice, you can practice backing on your 30-minute breaks. And I was like, no, don't think so. At the end of the day, I'm the one that's going to be in trouble for that, if I'm driving around while I'm on my 30-minute break. So that wasn't going to work for me. Plus, she needed home time, like once a month for the next 3 months. So I would be with this woman for 3 freaking months before I ever got done with her. And that just wasn't going to work for me. Because at the end of the day, this is her business, and she needed to be out there making money, not training. She just had a warm body next to her so she could make the money. Okay, so then they called me and they said, look, we got this guy we can hook you up with. I was like, okay. And what's he like? And he's like, well, if you want to learn the business, he's the one to go out with. I was like, okay, that sounds promising, but at the end of the day, he's still an owner-operator, and he still needs to make, I don't know, freaking $100,000 a week the way he acted. He was a nervous Nelly. The guy, for his age, he literally jumped out of the seat when when he had to go get his paperwork and whatnot. He couldn't climb to the top bunk, poor old Marcy had to do that. The guy just creeped me out. He wasn't, he didn't do anything. I don't even know how to phrase this, really. The guy didn't have any business with a female student on board because he didn't believe in going to truck stops. He believed in getting to the shippers or receivers 2 days early and then sitting in the parking lot. So like one night, like I drove, and then we both slept all night. So sleep was nothing. Get up at 7 in the morning, and he says, okay, our appointment's at 3:30 this afternoon. I said, okay, where are we going to sit until 3:30? He said, right here. So what are we going to eat? It's 7 in the morning. I haven't eaten since yesterday about 5. This is 7:30. He goes, I don't know. I said, well, what are we going to drink? I got a bottle of water we can share. No. For one thing, your teeth are sitting in that cup holder right there, and you can't even put them in your mouth because you don't have enough water to soak them in. And now you want me to share a bottle of water with you for the next, I don't know, what is that, 8 hours or whatever? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, so then, so he goes like, well, I'm just going to go to bed. Okay, you old geezer, go to bed. So he goes to bed. So I get out of desperation. I'm like, okay, I read the book. What else is there to do? I have half a bottle of lemonade. This is going to last all day. So like, I get out of the truck First, he's mad because every time I get in and out of the truck, I'm supposed to sit there stoically, like for 8 hours, like this, with a bottle of lemonade. That's it for the whole day, you know. And I can go inside to pee if I shut the door quietly. Wow. So I go inside and ask the lady, I'm like, is there any way I can just, you know, heat up a cup of water? I've got tea bags, I've got sugar. She's like, we have a whole cafe on the other side. A cafe? I like book it over there to that cafe. I'm like, oh my God, it's a godsend. It's a cafe. I can sit here and like charge my phone. I can read a magazine. I can eat food. I can drink. I can go to the bathroom. This place is a miracle. So I go back out and I get my phone charger and he's like, I wish you'd let me sleep. I was like, okay, look, just gonna let you know. If you're hungry, there's a cafe next door, okay? A full-service cafe. Just thought I'd let you know. This is like freaking freezing ass cold outside, too. So he's like, no, I'm fine. I have noodles. You're welcome to some of my noodles. I was like, well, I don't do noodles for breakfast, but thanks. So I'm inside. I'm like all stretched out. I'm lounging and everything. Pretty soon he comes in with his little cup of noodles, and I said, what, change your mind? Oh, my God. Get me away from this guy. So that was one bad experience. That was just one. Another one was when he wanted to get to the receivers or the shippers. Can't remember. I think it was the shipper. He wanted to get to the shipper 2 days early. I don't know why. We spent all of our time in the shipping parking lot. We pull up and I'm like, where am I supposed to, okay, we're going to go to bed, right? Okay, where am I going to pee? He's like, I don't know. It's a man's world. Pee out back behind the, in the trailer tails. I said, there's a street light. I'm a white girl. I have a white ass. Those street lights are going to reflect on my white ass. What do you want? Seriously? You want me to pee in the parking lot? I was so mad. I was so mad. So I get my mace. I get my alarm. I start to, he's like, if I was you, I'd pee behind the trailer. I said, well, you're not me, okay? You're not me. I'm going to go pee where I feel safe. So I get my fiance on the phone on my Parrot headphones, and I'm like, just stay with me because I got to go find a place to pee. So I peed in a parking lot. I found the darkest corner I could pee in, and I peed in a parking lot. Right there in the parking lot. In front of a stranger dude, you know? Oh. It was horrible. The whole experience was horrible. He took a shower, I think on the 5th day, maybe the 6th day, he finally took a shower. You know, his teeth were laying in that cup holder for 3 days. He broke my only pair of sunglasses because he shoved his teeth in the cup holder. It was just, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I was trying not to drink so that I wouldn't have to pee. When I was driving, I'd pull into a rest stop, which is easy because I can just pull off the highway, pull in, pee, get back in, and pull out. He's like, what are we doing? Why are we stopping? Because I have to pee. God, get back there and go to bed. Jesus. No more, no more, no mas, no mas. So I called Prime and I said, get me the hell off this truck. Get me off this crazy train. You know, and he's like, well, it's not a vacation. Nobody said it's a vacation. You know what, dude? Vacation is your word, not my word. I never asked for a freaking vacation, you know? But it's also, it's not like Hell Week every single day. You know, and he goes home once every 6 months. Once every 6 months. Why did Prime set me up with this hardcore, money-grubbing man that has no compassion, you know, left me no freaking dignity whatsoever. None, you know? I don't know. At the end of the day, he finally, you know, we pull into Prime and he's like, you know, you're a really good driver. I said, well, thank you. And he goes, but you're not cut out to be over the road. I'm like, dude, don't even go there because you don't know me. You don't know how I'm going to be when I'm with my fiance in the truck. You know, I've got comforts. We actually stopped to eat. We stopped to shower. I have drinks in the fridge. His fridge didn't work, so like we couldn't have cold. I could have warm water if I wanted it. You know, it just, nothing worked. I didn't get to brush my teeth. I had to save water just to brush my teeth at the back of the truck. It was just a freaking nightmare. Prime really needs to work on their hooking up people And not only that, I mean, the man's a bleeding heart liberal. I don't know how many times I had to listen to hang Trump and, you know, hire Hillary. Just over and over and over and over. It just shoved it down my throat. And I'm like, you have no idea what my political beliefs are, nor do I need to tell you, but I just really don't want to hear about yours, you know. He goes home once every 6 months, has absolutely no hobbies, you know, just nothing. No, it's like not even human. Like traveling with the Borg. I feel like I was traveling with a member of the Borg, like 7 of 9. It just didn't work out. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it again. The PSD, that was fine. TNT, that was a nightmare. I'm not doing it again. You know. Not all trainers are like that, I'm sure. But if you're female and you're trying to get with a trainer, if it's not your husband or your fiance or your significant other, you know, all I can say is good luck. Good luck finding a decent trainer. Good luck. If you can survive that for 6 weeks, hey, more power to you. I couldn't. I'm going to come home, or I came home. I'm just going to drive local, and I'll go back out with my fiance. You know, in June, we plan on going over the road together. And I bet you one thing, I bet you I shower at least every 3rd day. I bet I brush my teeth every day, probably twice a day. I bet I eat, drink, and pee. And I bet I make just plenty of money, you know, plenty of money. I don't have to have $100,000 a week. I don't know why anybody needs that. I mean, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but that's what he acts like. So, okay, so that was my experience. So, this is going to be my last trucking video for a while. I'm going to go back to doing my naturalist videos. Well, I might do some when I'm driving local or whatever, but that's it. That was my experience. So, yeah, just the whole TNT thing just didn't work out with me. Or work out. It just didn't work out. So, okay, guys. Ta-ta.